Hi guys. This is like really random, but decided to just pop on the camera and hop on the mic and talk and chat because I feel like John bought me all this really expensive podcast equipment and we were going back and forth of whether or not we were going to keep doing it because nobody watches it. It's quite embarrassing that I even keep those videos up because they get like 200 views literally. But instead of dwelling on that, I wanted to come on and just ask, are we okay? Like as a society, as a whole. So yeah, popping on this camera, literally have no production, just me. John has left. I'm leaving the curtains up because the lighting is so beautiful, but it's going to be going in and out because there's clouds and whatnot. So this is not going to be a really consistent, visually pleasing video. Or aesthetic, as we say. But I've got 2 lights up behind me, camera. I really wish I had 3 cameras. I don't have 3 cameras. Like I don't have just like an extra $5,000-$6,000 laying around right now to get 2 other cameras to have it look like a real podcast. So you're stuck with this one angle with me. But if you're listening, it doesn't matter anyway. I wanted to talk about a few things that I'm seeing on social media and just ask everyone if they are okay. Bop tarts that I'm seeing all over the internet. And Target is not too far from my house. So once I'm done filming this, I'm going to go and see if they have them there because I want to try them. But one of the things that I want to talk about it is all of the discourse surrounding the product, the name of the company itself. And I'm seeing a lot of opinions on social media that the name Ghetto Gastro is just like not a good name to name a company and that it just paints Black owned companies in a bad light. And I have an opinion that may shock some people that probably aren't even listening. I'm surprised that we're upset with the name. There's a few things that I'm seeing online about this, and people are saying that the price compared to Pop Tarts is more expensive. And I'm like, duh. Communities have had a way in history of taking terms that were meant to be negative towards that community and turning them into positive, turning it into everyday words that only the community is allowed to use socially. And so I'm confused as to why taking a word that was or is meant to describe a certain community in a derogatory way, a business has now taken it and is using it for positive, employing people, creating product, innovation, creating generational wealth, entrepreneurship, and people are mad about the name. I mean, like, if you think about it, everyone knows everyone knows that word. Everyone knows that word. Like, I told it to John yesterday and he was like, that's a catchy, and he's like, that's a great name. Food for freedom, fuel for thought. Ghetto Gastro. I think it's really innovative. Okay, so the next thing on Google is, why is it called Ghetto Gastro? To us, ghetto means innovation. It's in our name as a reminder of why we do what we do and who we do it for. To honor the underrepresented, underestimated, and too often ignored. It's our calling card, a way to say we see you, and a way to make sure y'all see us. I mean, come on, like, it is creative. I'm seeing so many people in these comments like, oh, there go Black people, gotta come up with a bad name. Really? I think this is more of a social media issue. I don't think that I've never really I've gone shopping and I recognize the brands that I always buy from, and I just know the brand name. This is going to be something like that. I don't think that people need to be upset and disappointed in the name. I think it's a great product, and I mean, hopefully it tastes good. I haven't had a Pop Tart since my mom stopped letting me have them after I told her that my friend's mom told me that they were unhealthy. She was like, oh, well then you don't ever need to have them again. So I haven't had one, God, I can't even remember how long. Over a decade, well over a decade. But another thing that I'm seeing in the comments under a video, I'm actually gonna see if I can find that video.
See, this be why niggas don't support Black brands. Because how is your shit more than the name brand while having less fucking food?
Okay, so this creator, Poppy Fortune, has said, this is why I can't support, or we can't support, I don't know what he said in the beginning to be exact, why we can't support black owned businesses. He said, because how is yo shit more than the name brand Pop-Tarts with less food? And what I think he means in that is less ingredients. But like, how do we not know by now that less ingredients cost more money because the government subsidizes bad ingredients to go into these big brands products? Or I'm sorry, what side of social media are you on? But how do we not know that? Less ingredients tends to mean it's healthier, or an alternative option to something with 37,000 ingredients in it. So when I went on the brand's page, and of course, the way the algorithm works, the next few videos after that, I got the brand's TikTok shop page, and they were saying that it's non-GMO, plant-based, real fruit. Great. All of those amazing keywords that are needed in order to justify a higher price compared to Pop-Tarts, which probably the first ingredients, I can look, but I'm sure high fructose corn syrup, all these red dyes, whatever, all these bad things, sugar is probably the first thing in there. And then you have someone who's gotten, now his video has 5,000 comments on it. Apple user 930 says, why would they call it Ghetto Gastro in the first place? 12,000 likes on that comment. Now that creator had a problem with the price being more for less ingredients. So they don't necessarily have a clear understanding of how things work in that sense. So on the other side, like, aside from there being healthier ingredients and having it be non-GMO and all of that stuff, the business aspect to things as to why sometimes small businesses have higher prices is because they have to do something better than the big brands in order to be recognized. They can't just come out as a small business, Pop-Tarts, and have the same exact ingredients and not have the same customer volume or customer base and go on the shelf and compete with the same exact ingredients and get their costs down. Because typically when you are working with factories and you're purchasing, ingredients and labor, you cannot afford to do those on a mass scale yet. So your cost, your overhead is higher because you are, as a small business, making less money. So as you start to make more money, you can cut your costs. But the way that most businesses cut their costs is by having terrible, harsh ingredients in their food, clothing, makeup, any of that stuff to cut the cost. Now, makeup sometimes can be a little bit different because you're paying for the active chemicals and all that stuff in it. But for the most part, in order for a small business to lower their prices, they have to have enough revenue in order to go to these factories and to go to these places and say, okay, I can purchase now in bigger quantities. The more you buy, the more that you save as a small business. And in order to do that, the small business needs more customers. And I just don't understand how people don't really realize that. So if I, as a small business, wanted to go and work with a stone maker and only purchase like one bracelet, it's going to be a certain cost. But if I, as David Yurman, wanted to go and work with the same stone maker and I'm going to purchase 1,000 of these stones, can you cut me a deal? Absolutely. Now, the issue that sometimes happens with certain name brands and luxury is that then you're just paying for the name, right? Because it's going to cost Yurman less money to make the same bracelet as me because they purchase all of the goods to make the bracelet in bulk, so that cost is low, and then they can still just raise the price because everybody knows Yurman and they expect it to be luxury. Whereas mine, I have to pay top dollar because I'm only purchasing one. This person isn't going to make a lot of profit off of me purchasing these stones to make this bracelet. And then I have to sell it and make a profit for myself and to make up for the higher cost that I paid to purchase the stones. Now, on top of that, most small businesses, the only way that they could stand out is by having better ingredients, is by having better fabrics, is by having higher quality in their makeup, in their perfume, in their jewelry, whatever, in their soaps, all of that. So that costs more. Pop-Tarts can be $2.79 because they're throwing a bunch of shit in there. Half of it's subsidized. And then the other half, it's shit. And you can pay bottom dollar for it. And you know what's selling the Pop-Tarts? Of course, yeah, they taste good. But they taste good because they're fucking gross. I know that sounds crazy. I know that's probably going to be offensive. But try to like not have ultra processed food for like a month and then try to have it again. It's like crazy. It's like what, like one time, well, now I eat like the darkest, purest chocolate. A year ago, when I tried to even go like 60, 70%, whatever, I would taste it. I'm like, this is disgusting. And now that I create, like now I'm like, oh, no. Give me the good stuff. It tastes so much better. And I even like when I do like milk chocolate, like even right now, I'm like, this is disgusting. So try to like understand how things work, and it goes back to this is the conversation that has been a conversation for so long. Why are small businesses expensive? Why does small in people's mind equate to it should be cheap? If we think about it, right? Like luxury brand like Hermes, the smaller the bag, the more expensive. The smaller that Kelly, the more expensive. Just because something is small doesn't mean that it's going to be cheap. You are most likely paying for direct, sustainable production in the final product. That person who owns that business can probably tell you every hand that touched that product. The ingredients are much more fresh. The customer service, superb. It's when things start to get to big business, which is 90% of every small business's dream. Like, okay, like I wish that I could be like David Yurman and absolutely exploit price and just pay for my name. Are you kidding me? Of course, we would all do it. But when you're small, there's less people involved. You're getting exceptional customer service. I'm pretty sure if I go on social media, the founder's probably making a video about the product, Ghetto Gastro. You're seeing the CEO. You have direct access to the CEO of that small business. And everything goes into the price of things. I just don't understand how people don't really realize that. That's just what I don't understand. It costs that small business even more for the packaging than it does Pop-Tarts. I mean, they're hiring a graphic designer to design the package. You know, Kellogg's is probably paying their graphic designer $1 million a year and has never even heard of the person's name. They don't even know what their name is on the payroll. It's like a no-show job. They just be quiet and keep producing like whatever ads that they do for them, and they don't even. It doesn't even matter to Kellogg's. It doesn't matter that you can just tell them what you want to be paid for the job at that level, and it just doesn't matter. So I think when I'm seeing all this discourse in the comments about this brand and the name and the critique, and I'm also seeing a lot of people going like straight to it, like, good, thank you for putting me, because I didn't know about them, and so I saw that video and I was like, oh, let me go to Target. Like, I just want to try it because like it's so catchy. The name is so catchy. And I think a lot of people are just shocked that a company would name itself Ghetto Gastro. I mean, it's just Ghetto Gastro. I mean, we have Slutty Vegan. Like, when did you ever think that you were going to say, do you want to go get a burger at Slutty Vegan? Sluts Unite. Like, all the merch. I have it all. I love sluts. Like, and we're talking about a food company. It's so, like, are we progressive or are we not? And we have been taking terms that have been used to throw dirt on the communities, and we have been taking them and turning them into positives, whether you agree with it or not. That is what people have done, and that is the majority of the thought process with it. And now they're doing it with a company, like a trademarked company, and it's on the shelves next to Kellogg's. Those are just, probably last names of people anyway. That's not really that creative. It's just their last fucking name. Probably, I'm assuming. And they said, how do we make this better so we can compete? Yes, you are going to pay more for boutique small brands, but they're giving you less ingredient. I couldn't even like when the guy said there's less food in here. Give it to me then. Like, hello. If there's less food, are you kidding me? This is so much better. But anyway, that's enough of that. I definitely have to go get some of them. And I used to have the question, like, if it's less ingredients, doesn't it cost less to like make? Like, why is it more? No, it costs less to make when there's more, because those are just dog shit ingredients. It's like, oh, it doesn't cost. Your burger is not adding up so expensive because of the lettuce and the tomato and the onion. Those are the cheap ingredients. Your burger is going to cost more if you go up in ounces of the beef, because that's where the shit is. You know what I mean? So that's how it is with making food. It's not going to cost Pop-Tarts more to add a drop of red dye, carcinogen, whatever they add in there. It's not going to cost a lot for that. It's going to cost a lot for them to say, let's go to the purest of pure. Let's get real strawberries, put them into our assembly line. Now you're talking like, let's find a farmer. Let's, you know what I mean? Let's get them while they're in season. Okay, well, that's going to cut your production short because they're only in season for a certain amount of time. And let's put them through. Let's make sure that they don't mold. Let's store them properly. Now you're talking about extra refrigerator. You know what I mean? That's how the cost goes up, as opposed to saying, can we just make like fake strawberries? Like, can we just mix a few like things together and bam, it tastes like a strawberry with food dye and all that stuff? They're like, yeah, that's just cheap. Come on. I don't know if I should go into another topic. How long have you even been talking for? 23 minutes. Wow. That's crazy. That's a long time. I don't have John here with me. He would give a lot more of a business like take on this that would make a lot more sense than me just probably sounding stupid. But if you guys like this, I'll do another one. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out and watching. I am literally going to go to Target right now and see if I can get one of those things. And then on the way home, definitely pick up a bottle of wine. Bye.